Okay, and we welcome you here to Mulgrave Reserve for our Deakin University Women's Match of the Round. This is the biggest one we've had so far this year. It is the Premier Division first versus second, top of the table clash between the Eastern Deveils and the South Belgrave Saints. My name is Christopher Cordis. I'm joined here by Oscar Ludke. Oscar, bit cold this morning, but the sun's come out. How are we feeling ahead of this one?
It is. It's a bit chilly, but great conditions here today. Great day for footy. Sky's blue. And really excited for this one. It
is. So the sun is out for now, which we hope that can stay around. We'll be hearing from the head coaches soon. For the Eastern Deveils, that's Aaron Ross, and for South Belgrave, Shane Mason. Will be interviewing them shortly ahead of this game today. As we said, it is first versus second going into this game. A lot to make of it. Eastern Deveils second on the ladder with 20 points. They have a record of 5-2 following back-to-back grand finals appearances. South Belgrave, who finished fourth last season, I believe, are now top of the table and undefeated, and looking to take another scalp and get to 8-0. So looking ahead of this one, thank you for joining us on our YouTube and Facebook streams. This game will be starting off at around 10:40. And then later on we'll be just down the road at Princess Highway Reserve for Oakleigh District taking on Sylvan in the Eastland Match of the Round. That one, Oakleigh District's 75-year anniversary game. They'll have the one, the only, Dane Swan donning the Guernsey for them. So if you're around by then, either get down to the ground or tune in on YouTube and Facebook, and that one will be on Radio Eastern 98.1 as well. So we've got, I believe, the reserves playing at the moment. A close one. Eastern Deveils 5-4-34, leading North Ringwood 5-7-37, showing a bit of the depth on display for both clubs. Oscar, early doors, do you have a tip for this one?
Yeah, I think I'll go with Belgrave today. I reckon they've got a good lineup, and they've got Celine Moody as well on the AFLW Carlton list. I think she'll play a big part in this one today. So
that's a very good point, Celine Moody. Yep, you're right. She is on the AFLW Carlton list. Okay, and we'll be joined now by head coach of the Eastern Deveils, Aaron Ross, as we just wait for him to get a microphone on. Thank you for that, KK Green, doing a great job as always.
Hello.
Aaron, welcome. It's a big day today. How are we feeling?
Yeah, good. Yeah, feeling pretty good. Pretty relaxed. The weather's good. Enjoyed our break, and ready to attack this second half of the season.
Yeah, excellent. And then look, obviously a tight game ahead of us today. We won't ask you to disclose too many secrets, but what are you looking for in this game to set you guys apart from South Belgrave?
We've played them in the first round and fell short by 5 points. So I think it's just a matter of me finding my this is my first year with the Devs. So yeah, just a really good start. And
stay at the top, obviously coming off 3 grand final appearances, or is that just something that the playing group drives?
I think the playing group are competitors. They're I think it would have been tougher if they won the 3 in a row. I think that would have been a tough one because, but I think now that they did lose the grand final, so they've got a bit of a chip on their shoulder and something to work towards, and it's shown on the track and just the way that they've been turning up with. So that was good. There was a bit of flu going around, so it was probably the timing was perfect. But no, prep just not as per usual. We train pretty hard. Just getting our roles. We've had a couple of injuries, so we had to.
Does anything change in the bye? Do you give the girls a bit of a break, or how does that go?
We didn't train in the bye week at all. Like I said, there was a bit of a flu going around. On Wednesday, we actually had an online mid-season review, which was really good. Went through all the games, and everyone sort of, those who wanted to have a bit of a chat. Boys,
thank you. That was head coach of the Eastern Deveils senior women's team, Aaron Ross, there that we just heard from. I see a big day ahead from him. They're coming off the bye as well, I believe, which was interesting. We'll be joined now by head coach of South Belgrave, Shane Mason. Shane, welcome. The sun's out, luckily enough for us, but how are we feeling this morning?
Oh, fantastic weather for it, isn't it?
No, it is. It's exactly right. And look, I want to somewhat address the elephant in the room. An undefeated start to this season. It's very impressive from your perspective. How have you managed to build it up so far?
I think it's just everybody buying into what we want to achieve and set the program early. Everybody knows their role, and it's gone our way, luckily for us.
Yeah, excellent. Obviously, round one, these two sides faced off and you got over the top then. Do you take many learnings from that, or is it just business as usual for today?
Well, the conditions were totally different. It was, in the afternoon, it was 32 degrees. So, yeah, look, you know, we started off really well and then they came back and we were able to just hold on. So, a different ground, different conditions, so a different personnel as well, so which is good.
Yeah, and how's the preparation been this week? Has anything changed at training coming up against the Devils, or is it just keeping it the same this week?
Well, I suppose luckily both teams had a bye last week, so I know there were some sore girls after the first 7 rounds. So it'd be interesting to see whether they're a little bit flat or not. Always after a week off, we try to get them back into the training intensity, but hopefully things will go our way and we'll see how we go.
Yeah, awesome.
That's excellent. And look, with a lot of teams, sometimes people look at teams that are winning a lot and they think, they might be due for a loss here or there. But how do you keep the girls driven and motivated? Is that something that you're really pushing from as a coach, or is that something that the playing group kind of pushes with?
I think it's everybody. Like our men's are the same. They haven't lost a game either. So there's one of those trophies that we want to achieve. We don't want to be the first team to sort of lose a game. But look, it's everybody just pushing themselves, doing the right things. We can go control what we can control. So.
Yeah, excellent. And look, last one before we let you go, without giving away too many secrets, where do you think the key is for this game? What's something that we can look out for here?
I think the midfield is where it's going to happen. The way Eastern Devils run and spread, especially coming out their back half, will be interesting for us, and where we've sort of worked out what we can try and nullify that. But also, I think just it'll be a great game because both sides are, first and second, so and very similar in regards to the way they play and cattle on the ground. So everybody we can go either way, to be quite honest.
Excellent, Shane. Well, thank you very much for joining us. We'll leave you towards a very busy morning ahead, but best of luck for the game.
No worries. Thanks very much. Cheers.
Thank you. That was head coach of the South Belgrave senior women's side, Shane Mason there. Best of luck. Thank you. As we just heard from both coaches, as we are still ticking over in the reserves game. There's 6 minutes left to that as North Ringwood take a 10-point lead. That's 5-4-34. 16-point lead now, actually, as North Ringwood get their 7th on the board for 7-8-50. So a few interesting things we heard from the coaches there. Oscar, we've seen throughout the season so far and in past seasons, some teams come off the bye and they're raring to go. Some start a bit sluggish. Can you see it for either of these two teams, being a detriment, or do you just think it's going to add to what a great game we have ahead of us? Yeah,
I think the bye might play a part in it. It definitely could. Sometimes I know you can maybe drop a little bit with that off week, but it sounds like the preparation's been good, so it may play a part in it today, but it may not also.
And we are joined now on the microphone by Kate Green. Kate, the beating heart of the women's competitions here at the EFNL. How are you today?
Good morning, gentlemen. I'm really good. Just with regards to the bye, it's actually an even playing field, seeing that all the women had the King's weekend off. So I'm actually thinking this is going to be a really, really good game, and it's going to come down to fitness and attrition. I know both teams have got a couple of players out, so it'll be interesting to see what that effect is, but it's going to be a cracker.
That's exactly right. It's brilliant to hear. And just interested from my behalf, Kat, obviously you've been around the leagues for a lot longer than I have, but have you heard of many teams doing, I'm sure they would all do, but in a bye week, a mid-season review that we heard from Eastern Devils coach Aaron Ross. Is that a common thing going throughout our footy grades, or?
I think when it comes down to it, it comes to what the team has set up as their game plan, their season plan. I think that they still would have trained on the Tuesday and the Thursday, and then just really, focused on any niggles getting addressed, having that King's weekend, King's birthday weekend, comes in very, very handy for people that are teams that are carrying a few injuries or a few niggles. That week off really does make a difference to those teams. But been around the league 22 years now, and it's just team dependent. But they do a review. But as to whether or not they let us know, like the Devils just have, is another matter.
Oh, it's a very good point. So
they do like to keep things close to their heart, because everyone listens or watches everybody's games. So try not to give away too much.
That's exactly right. And there's 3 minutes left in the reserves games. But before we let you go into the boundary and do a bit of a scope of conditions for us, Kate, do you have a tip for today and maybe a margin?
I don't like doing margins because I feel that jinxes. This one, because it's 1-2, is going to be a close one. Devils had a bit of a wobbly start to the season, but they've, it looks like they've been getting back into their grooves. South Belgrave have really hit the ground running. They did play finals last year, and I think they've just kept that momentum going forward. But it's a long season. I have tipped South Belgrave. I'm going to stay with that. But I think it's going to be a close one, and it is really going to be a great game.
Excellent. So Kate's gone for South Belgrave. Oscar, you went with South Belgrave. My tip's going to be the Eastern Devils, as it is in the EFNL match day record, as you can find on our website at the EFNL. But yeah, I've gone for the Eastern Devils here on their home turf. They are on a 4-game win streak, but as we heard from the head coaches there, no one's expecting this one to really blow out. It was different conditions the first time around in the reverse fixture, as South Belgrave just got over the top there, and we're in for a good day of footy ahead, as the North Ringwood is still 17 points up in the reserves game, and that game close to wrapping up with 90 seconds to go. So as we look into it,
Chris, you were the only one in the record that actually went the Eastern Devils.
Was I?
Yeah, I think from memory, Ryan, Blake and I went for South Belgrave. So this is going to get interesting.
Big call.
Yeah, well, I was alerted yesterday that I'm leading the women's tipping, and since then I looked at the record and I've made some questionable tips this week. So we're riding with the Eastern Devils today, I guess. But
and Ryan definitely won't let us change our tips now.
No. I did that once and I still haven't heard I still haven't heard the end of it. But yeah, so Eastern Devils, as we just heard, bit of a shaky start to the season. Started off 1-2 with losses to South Belgrave in the opening round, and then South Croydon in round 3. So they don't have a goal kicking in double digits for the season yet, but last time these two sides played, it was Ellie McDonald who got the best on-ground votes for her side. And last 3 results, the Devils knocked off the 3rd place Park Orchards outfit by 4 points in a very tight game here. In round 6, the Deakin fell well short to the Eastern Devils. That was 1-1-7 plays 15-14, 104. And then in round 7, which I believe was our last game, it was the Eastern Devils 10-3-63, playing away and beating the White Horse Pioneers 2-7-19. So the Devils taking a bit of red-hot form into this one. Their next fixtures after this game will be a 6th place Vermont side, a 5th place South Croydon side, and then Baronia at home, who are currently 4th, as the siren rings out for the reserves game. That one is North Ringwood getting over the top of the Eastern Devils by 17 points. And then we look on the other hand, the South Belgrave Saints are visitors today, but at the top of the ladder, first in points for and second in points against, like we heard. They are undefeated, Georgie Grimmer and Olivia Flanagan being first and third in the goal-kicking standings. Grimmer first with 15 and Flanagan third with 10 to her name. And Georgie Prudence 6 times on best, leading the league, equal first in best on vote. So that is a strong outfit that they have put together throughout the season. Last time these two sides met, it was Georgie Prudence getting one of her 6 best on votes in that game. In their last 3, their form coming into this one, they defeated Baronia 6-9-45 to 1-5-11 at home. Baronia goalless in the second half, and then in round 6 it was South Croydon 4-4-28 were defeated by South Belgrave 4-5-29. So the thinnest of margins there to get the 4 points for the Sainers, who were down at 3/4 time but kicked 4-1-25 to South Croydon 0-1-1 in the last term to get over the line there. And then the last game they played in round 7, South Belgrave 6-5-41 defeated 3-5-23 in Vermont. And then next week after this one, it's a tough 2-game stretch for the South Belgrave Saints. If they can get out of these next 2 weeks undefeated, they'll certainly be, although it might be a bit too early to say, I'm going to go out there and say probably have one hand on the trophy, because they have second placed Eastern Devils here today, and then Park Orchards in third here at home as well, followed by the Basin, who are 8th, and Whitehorse, who are 7th. So some interesting form coming into this game. Kate, what have you got for us before you go down on the ground?
I was just going to say, just remember that caller's curse, because whenever we've done it so far in the last, 4 seasons now,
Yep.
We seem to jinx people. So watch out for that, Oscar, because it is a bit of a devil's advocate sitting on your shoulder.
So, Kate, we'll let you go down to the boundary as we are gearing up. We are only a few minutes away from the opening bounce here. Oscar, do we have something to expect from this game? How are we going?
Yeah, look, I'll be interested to see how this midfield works. As you said before, when we had Coach Shane Mason here for South Belgrave, he was talking about that midfield, and they've got a very strong midfield with Molly Meehan in there and Ashley Powell, and also that ruck once again with Celine Moody on that AFLW Carlton list. So it'll be interesting to see how that midfield plays a part today
That's
in
exactly
their match
right.
against the Devils.
That's exactly right, and there are some big matchups that we'll see as the teams are running out here. South Belgrave in their black strip, of course, and Eastern Devils in the white as they run out here onto Mulgrave Reserve, which if you've got nothing to do for today, please come on down. This will be just about the best advertisement of Premier Division women's footy that we can give to you in the Eastern Football Netball League today, as there are some other key matchups across the leagues in our women's divisions. As in Premier Division, obviously we have this game. Park Orchards host the Basin. In the Sharks looking to keep their strong season going, first season back in Premier Division. South Croydon host Vermont in what it will be an interesting match to see who's really, I dare to say, the best of the rest in the middle of the table there. And Whitehorse host Baronia. The Pioneers are an injury-riddled season so far, but they'll be looking to get it back on track against the Hawks. In Division 1, we have Deveils still looking for their first win as they host Knox. Surrey Parker hosting North Ringwood. That will be a very interesting game. That one is two strong sides who go at it there. And East Ringwood, who I believe are one spot off the bottom, host Baldwin. So they're looking to get some momentum going in their fixture. As we cross over to Division 2, Berwick host Blackburn. The Burners off to a very, very strong start in Div 2. They are undefeated as it stands. Berwick looking to play a bit of a party pooping role in that one as Kilsyth host Montrose. I'm sure our very own EFNL media member Blake Tennant will have a close eye on that game, but that will be interesting. Waverley Blues will host Moorbark in the reverse fixture. That was our first Deakin University women's match of the round that ended in a draw. An absolutely stunning fixture there.
Chris, I think that one's going to be a really good cracker one too.
And it was brilliant when we were there the first time around, wasn't it, Kate? As Beaconsfield have the bye, so a bit of a double break there for Beaconsfield. As crossing over to Division 3 before we get started, it's the Eastern Devils development side taking on the North Ringwood development side. Ferntree Gully will host South Croydon, and Churnside Park are hosting Coldstream, and Mitcham will host Heathmont. So I believe that Eastern Devils North Ringwood game is the one that just played out in front of us. So that was the Devils falling short to North Ringwood. As quickly before we get started, and Oscar Ludke takes us away in Division 4, we have Bayswater hosting Wanturna South. Wanturna South, bit of a surprise so far in both of our men's and women's competitions, making a very strong start to the season. Fair Park take on Vermont at Fair Park Reserve. Nunawanning host Warrandyte, and Baronia's development side have their bye. And in Division 5, finally, it is Heathmont hosting Templestowe and Norwood hosting Upper Ferntree Gully. So we're just about set up here. I've done a lot of talking in this pre-game. I'm sure a few of you are sick of hearing my voice, so I'll cross over to Oscar Ludke to get us started in our Deakin University women's match of the round.
We are set to go here from Mulgrave Reserve. It's the Eastern Devils taking on South Belgrave as the ball comes up from the umpire. Big tap down in the direction for South Belgrave. Rolling ball in the middle of the ground, able to get their hands away. Kick inside the forward 50. Able to run through a couple and get the kick back towards the centre of the ground here for South Belgrave. And now ball tied up in a pack in the middle of the ground, fighting for possession. comes out to the wing.
Boundary.
Down to Kate Green on the boundary.
Just quickly, Eastern Devils are kicking to the right of the scoreboard, and South Belgrave to the west end.
We're here in the middle of the ground now. Looking to move the ball through the wing, and a mark taken. Looks to switch it towards the centre of the ground as the Devils look to go forward here. Trying to find an option inside forward 50. Belgrave trying to clear it. Ball rolls out the back of the pack and ends up getting a kick out to centre wing. Tap in favour of South Belgrave. A little kick along the ground, chasing it was Cormac. Able to get the kick forward. Too far for Flanagan. And now a good defensive mark taken here on the wing.
South Belgrave now with a chance to repel. We'll go boundary side soon to Kate Green. I was too busy waffling throughout the pre-game. We'll get conditions shortly, as it looks like there was a bit of dew on the ground earlier, but wrapped up in a tackle here for the Devils, as we'll have a ball up. So more or less where we started here in the middle of Mulgrave Reserve, as the Rucks will go at it. Jacinta Frawley's in there for the Devils. It's come out. The Devils will win the clearance. It's out the back of the pack. In pursuit of it was Melanie Murray, and now it's in the hands of Thompson, who will kick it goal and will just spray wide. So good opportunity there for Hayley Thompson, who's lacking a bit of accuracy there in that occasion. As we will go boundary side to Kate Green. Kate, how does it look out there?
The ground's actually really good. It's still quite firm. As you mentioned, there was a little bit of dew on top. There's still a bit of it, so may lend for a little bit of a slippery surface, but I feel that will negate itself as the sun, dries it out a bit more. Just one other thing I've noted, the Devils have got quite a few loose players, which South Belgrave can't afford to have, so they really do need to be on their opponent player, because the Devils do take advantage of that.
It's a very good pick up from the boundary there, Kate. Thanks for that. She's right. The Devils are setting up a few spare behind the footy, but South Belgrave will look to repel. It's fallen into the hands of Georgie Pruden, who plays on straight away. Kick hits the centre square. Ball hits the deck. There's a bit of work to do there for Georgia Grimmer, and now they're looking to bring it out. The Saints, a bit of a basketball bounce to herself. I couldn't see the number, but that was a terrific bit of work. As Pruden's back around the footy, couldn't quite pick it up. Sharon stayed to the floor. It's dropped now. Pruden gets it back onto the right boot, looking for a shallow entry inside 50. Intercept mark could have been taken by Morney, but it's play on, and her kick will fall short of her target. It's dribbled past the legs of Charlotte Darrow, and now at the back in the hands of Ashley Foster, who looks down the line. Back in pursuit of it is Morney, but it's picked up by Gemma Mason for the Saints, the vice-captain for today. An intercept mark is taken there by the Devils. So the Eastern Devils defence holds up strong as they look down the wing.
Ball into the centre of the ground here. Saints looking to go back inside that forward 50. Good defence again. And now the kick comes out to the wing. Couldn't quite take the mark. Able to get the hands off. And now just a rolling ball in that pack there on the outer wing, and we will have a ball up from the umpire.
Boundary.
And boundary side with Kate Green.
Chris, just that basketball bounce, that was number 2 for South Belgrave, Caitlin Hubbard. I've never seen someone bounce a Sharon like it's a basketball.
As we have the ball comes back up and hits the deck here at Mulgrave Reserve. The ball on the outer wing, locked up again. Eventually comes out. And now Belgrave able to get a kick forward. Socked, a little good tap to advantage. Can they get the first score? Their first score of the day, Belgrave, as it's locked inside their forward 50.
Boundary.
Boundary side to Kate Green.
South Belgrave need to make sure that they have someone that they've got drop back in there for their goal square, because so far this quarter they haven't, and it's costing them. They don't have a target.
Good chance for Belgrave as Cormac gets the kick inside, forward 50, can't quite find a mark. Big tackle laid. Ball rolling here. And wrapped up in the end, so we will have a ball up just outside that forward 50 for South Belgrave.
So it was Olivia Munyard involved in the tackle there. As ball up, Rucks will go at it. Munyard wins a tape. I should say Frawley wins a tape. It's now sent forward and bodies around it. The snap around the corner, dribbling through off the right boot from Olivia Flanagan. As it is the South Belgrave Saints, the undefeated side, who hit the front first. The scoreboard to read: Eastern Deveils 0-1-1. South Belgrave 1 flat 6s. A brilliant bit of crumbing work there after the entry. And it was Olivia Flanagan, moves to 11 goals on the season, as we heard in the pre-game. Third in the total standings for today. She's looking to move up there and get closer to her teammate in Georgia Grimmer, who has 15.
Chris and Oscar, hopefully that goal will settle down South Belgrave, because they've been a little bit panicky with their footy so far.
As the Rucks will go at it in the centre again, it's the Saints winning the centre clearance. A lovely bit of handball work to now a kick drop mark picked up by Georgie Pruden, looking to go inside. Forward 50s, Olivia Flanagan gets at the goal kicker. Now looking for the hands of Santa Maggio, who's wrapped up in a tackle by Olivia Munyard. And we'll have a ball up inside South Belgrave's forward 50. So they were pinned back territory-wise early on in this encounter. But now they're looking to make their entries count, as there's a bit of a muffed handball in there, and umpire will call for a ball up again. So the Rucks will go at it once more. Grimmer in there doing the ruck work. Will lose out to her opponent though, and Eastern Deveils can repel now. Looking for a teammate in Cassandra Meads down the wing on the far side here, is bursting through, looking to pick it up was Morney. Couldn't quite get the tap going, as they're looking to bring it out now. It's a bit of scuffed football in there. Olivia Ain gets it forward. It's a 1v1 contest ahead of the footy. Around it is Melanie Murray for the Devils. Can't quite win. Ain around there again. Murray wheels around on the left boot and kicks, but it's only behind. That was Hayley Thompson with the attempted goal there. As the Eastern Devils get their second score of the day, albeit a minor score, so it's South Belgrave by 4.
I'm quite surprised with Thompson being a bit inaccurate, because she's usually quite spot on. So that's credit to South Belgrave's pressure at this point in the game.
Ball here now in the defensive 50 for South Belgrave. Doesn't like many of her options, decides to play on and run around her opponent. Kicks long now, and a good strong mark taken there by Santa Maggio.
It's just her 8th game this game. She's playing well.
Ball now in the centre of the ground. Big kick into the sky here at Mulgrave Reserve, as the Eastern Devils look to get their first goal here of the day. Wheels around, and too many Belgrave players back there. Here's a chance, fends off one, gets the handball away, and now ball wrapped up into a contest, so we'll have a ball up from the umpire inside the Eastern Devils forward 50 here. Rolling ball in the defensive 50 for South Belgrave. Can they clear this one? We'll have another ball up again. Or in fact a free kick, I think. So it will be a free kick in the direction of the Eastern Devils as they look to score their first goal of the day. Looks good as it goes to the top of the square, but off hands and goes through for a minor score. So Eastern Devils now 3 straight behinds, 3 to South Belgrave, 1 straight 6. 9 minutes and 49 left in the first term.
Devils are looking very dangerous, but again, inaccuracy in that goal due to South Belgrave's pressure. South Belgrave really do need to pick up their Eastern Devils players, because there's quite a few loose, and it's good to see that they've got someone drop back closer to their forward pocket.
So now South Belgrave use the ball into the middle of the ground here, and it will be wrapped up again, so another ball up in the middle of the ground.
So it's Eastern Devils still with the territory dominance early on in this one, but not able to translate it to the scoreboard, as Rachel Baker was doing some of the ruck work, and now the Saints look to bring it out through Gemma Mason. 1v1 contest down back now. A bit of help comes to both sides. The 2v2 kick into the centre. The call is play on as it fell into the hands of Olivia Munyard, who's been good so far, and Morney now has the ball. We'll look true centre wing just in front of us here, as it's a 2v1 in favour of the Devils. The Saints player has quite a bit of work to do, trying to usher it over the boundary line was Gemma Mason. And she's made enough of a contest of it for it to be deemed a ball up, as we'll go quickly around the grounds in elsewhere in Premier Division. Park Orchards lead the Basin early 12-6. South Croydon lead at home 7-0 over Vermont. And Whitehorse, the Pioneers, lead Baronia early on 6-0 as play continues here in the middle of Mulgrave Reserve. It's off the hands of Caitlin Hubbard. Now stolen away by number 18, Shanice Stratton, the skipper for the Devils, and it goes forward. Maybe able to get onto the right boob, a bit off more than she could chew. Was Melanie Murray, had a chance to snap it around the corner, but the swarming defence of the Saints prevailed. So now it's Bailey Withers to look to the far side. Kick will find the turf and just bounce any which way. It was best read by the Saints, is bursting through and looking down into the corridor. Pruden was the target. Kick won't quite get there, as we have maybe the loudest car I've ever heard off to my left. As wrapped up in a tackle in the centre of the ground is Ellie McDonald. There it is again, coming through the microphone.
Wow.
As Riley Cridlin's around the footy now. The Devils are going to bring it out. Ain gets it forward. The target is Murray again, but she loses out to Keely Shepherd. So Melanie Murray playing as the lone target inside the forward 50 at the moment, just not able to win her battles. And that's a key matchup for today, is sitting under that clearing kick was Molly Meehan. She'll look to go forward, just gets a past the player on the mark. It was tapped down with one hand and then taken brilliantly by Lea Santamaggio. So she'll look forward down the line. Devils have the numbers. Standing under it was an Eastern Devils player in Gemma Owen, but couldn't quite take it cleanly, and Munyard is wrapped up in a tackle.
Looks like a free kick going the way of the Devils here.
It's a good
Boundary.
pick up, Oscar, as we'll go boundary side to Kate Green.
It was a little high.
A little high is the call. The umpire agrees. Great pack mark taken in there by number 31 in Hayley Thompson. She's got the red dot next to her name. That means she's one to watch. Selected by yours truly, Kate Green, on the boundary side, as Shanice Stratton, another one to watch, looks inside 50. Just got over the outstretched hands of Nicole Cormate. Now looking to do groundwork is Murray. Now with the footy is Jordan Rule in her 100th game across her footballing career today, across juniors and seniors alike. But I'll have a ball up inside the Devils forward 50. Some 20 metres out, so still looking for their first major of the day. Would put them in front as the rucks go at it. Ains around the footy, so too was Murray. It's popped out backwards. South Belgrave looking to clear their lines. Applying the pressure was Jordan Rule, who was just around the footy before. Gemma Mason's been brilliant this term, but she's wrapped up in the tackle. Footy spills loose. Looking to dart through a few plays is Ruby Southam, and holding the ball is the call. So the Eastern Devils rewarded for their pressure here, as Olivia Ain will have a kick, but needs to slot this as they are 0-3, only 3 points on the day here. Kate, do you have something for us down there? As
Sorry,
Ain goes in with the kick, it's over the back and out for a behind. We'll go to you now, Kate, as you figured out the microphone.
Just with Olivia Ang, she was the Devils 2024 runner-up, club best and fairest. You never leave her on her own. She is quick, she is fast, and she is in and out, and definitely a danger one. Just quickly with South Belgrave, I'm really impressed with their defensive line. They've really held Eastern Devils just to behinds, and that's credit to South Belgrave this quarter so far, with 5 minutes left to go.
So free kick here on that outer side, and finds a target now on centre wing. South Belgrave looking to head forward once again here. Couldn't quite take the mark. Took a big bump there. Ball into the pack. We'll have a ball up in the middle of the ground once again from the umpire. 4 minutes and 39 left on the clock here at Mulgrave Reserve for this first quarter. Couldn't quite take it here. And able to get the ball out of the pack. Kick comes into the centre of the ground and mark taken here for the Devils as they use this ball on the on the closest wing to us. And good kick to find a target there in Cridland. She looks to move it forward. Here's a chance. Runs straight into goals. Eastern Devils get there first. 3 minutes and 51 on the clock. 1-4-10 to South Belgrave, 1 straight 6.
That was a really good effort from the Eastern Devils to finally convert to a major. I must say that Melanie Murray, number 2 for the Eastern Devils, has been working really hard down in that forward pocket to get that ball out. And that goal by Murray, that goal that they've just scored for Eastern Devils is due to Murray's hard work down in that forward pocket.
As we'll go again in the centre here, Gemma Mason wrapping up her opponent in the tackle. The scoreboard now reads Eastern Devils 1-4-10, South Belgrave 1-6. So the Devils looking a bit better now, but they still had their chances. So we'll have another ball up in the centre here. Centre square, more or less where we started off today. What's been an interesting match of Premier Division women's footy at the moment is socket off the ground. The Devils looking to repel, just got boot to ball as it's back through the middle. Mason around the footy. She's been everywhere for the Saints so far today. And the umpire will call for the ball up.
Chris, have you noticed that South Belgrave is still a little panicky with their ball work?
It is a bit fumbly out there, Kate. You might be right, as it's looking a lot like it's just a game of territory dominance so far early, but with all due respect to the Saints, although the Eastern Devils are only 1 goal from 5 scoring shots, they have had chances. So did see Ellie McDonald before get that goal as she's around the footy now once more, looking to repel the Saints. McDonald wraps her up in a tackle. She wasn't going anywhere, and it's a ball up just outside the Devils' forward 50 arc. So with 2 to play here in our Deakin University women's match of the round, the Eastern Devils would be remiss if they couldn't get another major on the board to really show for their dominance. And gee, the ball was just thrown to space there, and that's a 25-metre penalty, which is about as academic as a call as you'd get for something like that. Just didn't give the ball back at any stage.
Sadly, you don't do that, because Eastern Devils will definitely take advantage of it and punish you on the scoreboard.
So it was Jacinta Frawley. He was looking to just give hands off to the left, but was called back. So the ruckman now will have to go herself. Kicks on the left boot. Looks like it would drop to the top of the square, off hands, and rush. Yes, now rush through for her behind. So the Devils 1-5-11. They've had all the territory so far in this game, and they just haven't been able to pull away. We're on the other side of things. South Belgrave 1-6 have been efficient. I think they've only been inside their forward 50 2 or 3 times. They've got the major to show for it. So stepping right and now kicking left, but missed the target. Biting off more than they could chew, the Saints, off the kicking, and the intercept marks taken by Riley Cridland, who will now go back and line up. Kick will be from around 35 metres out. Slight angle, maybe a 30-degree angle from the centre of the goals as she waltzes in. Pack forming on the line. Kick stayed low. Was in the hands of Aang, but then came out. So another minor score for the Devils. 1-6-12 plays 1-6.
23 seconds left on the clock here in this first term. Probably not enough time for either side to do anything with it. Belgrave will try and clear it out to the wing here. 6 seconds on the clock. Could be a chance. Ball comes to the top of the square and will roll away to the left for a minor score as the siren goes here for quarter time here at Mulgrave Reserve. It's Eastern Devils 1-6-12 to South Belgrave 1-6.
You heard there from Oscar Ludke the scores. Goal kickers for today so far. Singles to Ellie McDonald for Eastern Devils, and for the South Belgrave Saints, single to Olivia Flanagan. Elsewhere around the grounds, we are in upset watch in the Premier Division as the Wild Horse Pioneers playing at home 4-1-25, leading Baronia 1-1-7. So that could be a bit of an upset as the Pioneers look to get their season back on track. Elsewhere, Park Orchards and South Croydon hold narrow leads. And we'll have more scores from around the ground when we come back in our Deakin University Senior Women's Match of the Round, as Kate Green will be grabbing one of our coaches for a quick interview. Get a quick break and then we'll be back in just a second. Welcome back to your Deakin University Senior Women's Match of the Round here out at Mulgrave Reserve. Early doors at quarter time is the Eastern Devils 1-7-13 leading the South Belgrave Saints, the undefeated South Belgrave Saints, 1-6 as the Devils 7 more scoring shots, but they're only up by 7 points at the moment. As we'll go around the grounds quickly, as obviously here is the first game in Premier Division. Park Orchards 3-3-21 leading the Basin 1-6. South Croydon 1-1-7 leading Vermont 0-3-3. KG Fair there. In the White Horse Pioneers, we put them in upset watch. They are currently 5-1-31 leading Baronia at home 1-2-8. as we'll cross over to Division 1. I don't think we have results so far. No, we don't. Unfortunately, Division 1 is... We have Donvale hosting Knox and Surrey Park hosting North Ringwood. Obviously, East Ringwood against Bullen is a twilight game. As in Division 2, Berwick 1-6 falling to Blackburn at the moment, 5-1-31. The Burners looking to stay undefeated. Kilsyth versus Montrose and Waverley Blues versus Moorbuck. No scores listed for them yet. Is very interested in how that latter game pans out. As I cross to Division 3, we have just before the Eastern Devils 5-4-34 development team lost to North Ringwood's development side 7-9-51. Ferntree Gully 4-6-30. Beating South Croydon 2-5-17. We'll go boundary side to Kate Green.
I'm just here with Shane Mason. Tough quarter, that first one, but your back six, very impressive.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they did a great job down there. The ball was coming down quick. We just got to sort of get our composure back around the mids. Once we get possession of the footy, then we just got to control it.
Any other message for the girls for this coming quarter?
Yeah, just don't rush and just be composed and don't, and just work out as a team. I think we sort of needed to get a little bit stronger at the contest.
Thanks very much, Shane. All the best.
Thank you, Kate, on the boundary there. The only other scores we had listed for the rest of Division 3, Division 4 and Division 5 is in Division 5 as Norwood 3-1-19 lead Upper Ferntree Gully at home. Yet to score. And if you're a basketball fan and you're tuning into this, we have to say thank you to the good people at Mulgrave Reserve. They've got the NBA Finals Game 4, I believe, behind us. I think that's the Indiana Pacers up marginally as we are back to the footy here and back focused as Chloe Stratton sends it inside forward 50 for the Devils, and it's Melanie Murray winning her individual contest there. She was bested a few times early on in the first term, but she's managed to take the grab there. So she's more or less dead in front here. She'll be kicking from around 30 metres out.
Like I said, Chris, you don't underestimate her.
And that is why, as Murray sends it straight through the uprights to get Eastern Devils' first goal of the second term, the first goal of either side of the second term here, as they extend their lead to 2-7-19 over South Belgrave, 1-6. And a big goal, really, because he felt that Eastern Devils should have been out in front by more, and now they're pushing out.
Boundary.
So we go boundary side to Kate Green.
I have with me Aaron Ross, coach of the Eastern Devils. Aaron, very positive quarter, first quarter, and a really great start the second quarter. What was the message for the girls moving forward?
I think the message was just keep doing what they were doing. They're getting plenty of numbers to the contest, which is what we've been working on. Winning those contests and then getting the ball out. We had plenty of inside 50s, just weren't converting, and we just got our first goal in the second quarter, so we're happy with that.
Thanks very much, and all the best going forward, Aaron.
Okay, thank you.
Great stuff down there from Kate Green and coach of the Eastern Devils, Aaron Ross, as this ball rolling to us at the broadcast side. And now the Devils looking to go inside their forward 50, but it'll be Withers who clears it, but not as far as the Devils, who are now able to go back towards the wing, and a good mark taken here. 3 minutes gone in the second term as they look to go forward again. Good mark taken at centre half forward. Good option short.
Again, South Belgrave cannot afford to leave any of their opposition players loose, because Devils will make them pay for it on the scoreboard.
Good mark in defence there for South Belgrave as they'll look to clear this outside their defensive 50 here. Good mark taken. Looks towards the centre of the ground. Big pack forms off the hands. Rolling now. Belgrave looking to clear this one. There's a whistle from the umpire. Free kick in the way of Belgrave. Advantage paid. Big, big kick here. Rolling inside the forward 50 of South Belgrave. Devils players, there's too many of them, and they're able to clear it.
Again, South Belgrave letting themselves down by having no one in their forward pocket.
Ball here on centre wing. Looks to switch it through the middle of the ground. Good mark taken. Decides to go long and straight. Here's a chance if they can get this working. South Belgrave, good in defence again, able to clear it, but not as far as the defence here for the Devils is too good. Goes towards centre wing on this broadcast side. We've got another whistle, and it'll be a free kick in the direction of Flanagan as we go to Kate Green boundary side.
That free kick was given because it was high.
And a good strong mark there. Might be a bit hurt. Santa Maggio.
Santa Maggio has been brilliant last quarter, and again she's following that forward this quarter.
Kicks it inside the forward pocket here. Big tackle laid. We'll have a ball up here from the umpire inside the forward 50 for the Saints. Ball rolling towards the boundary line and goes out of play.
So we'll have a ball up here. It's the Devils up 13 early in the second term. They're looking to hand the Saints their first losses. It's a free kick given for holding in the ruck. It will go the way of Rachel Baker of the Eastern Deveils as she gives a handball off to her left. Now time to take one bounce and unload on the left boot. Down the line just in front of us, more or less an uncontested intercept mark taken there by Celine Moody. On the AFLW list for Carlton this season, she just sends the ball looking to take territory. And standing under it, got two hands to it, but wasn't quite paid. The mark was Taylor O'Hagan. And now they're looking to bring it out through Shanice Stratton again. The skipper on the left foot, back down the line. The same template as we just saw before. So they're looking to bring it out now off hands. There's a free kick that will favour the Devils. So it'll be Jacinta Frawley, I believe. Rewarded for her work there as she can now slow the game down a bit. Just assess her options and now go forward. It's a short kick. Leaping at it was Ellie McDonald. Has a goal already today. It's taken some. It's been leading up well and taking some good marks as she was on best on ground for the Devils last time these two sides faced off. This is Gemma Owen now. Looks to go forward. Sent it down the wing. We'll find a teammate in Jess Morney who continues to look a bit further down the corridor. It's a well-taken contested grab there. Devils looking for an entry inside forward 50 now is coming crashing over the top of the pack with Celine Moody for the Saints. They can now repel. Standing under it was number 35 in Madison Brooks, but she misread the flight of the footy. Now Gemma Mason sends her forward. 2v2 contest there. Who wants it more as the Sharon hits the turf? It's bouncing, picked up in the left hand brilliantly and then just handballed straight out of bounds. It's the last touch rule there by Gemma Rowan, the infringing player. Go on, Kate.
Again, South Belgrave letting themselves down by not having anyone in their forward 50.
So Hubbard's kick, sorry Kate to cut you off, force her teammate to play on, and then the kick was sent forward huge by, I believe, Santa Maggio, who sends it through. So it was a brilliant kick there by the Saints to force the play on. That's how well it was placed, and I believe it was Leah Santa Maggio there who gets South Belgrave on the board for this second term. Kate, I'm sorry I cut you off, but you were saying.
No, mate, totally understand, totally worth it. Santa Maggio has only played 5 games coming into this one. She is absolutely on fire this half. Really, really impressive for someone that's just new to football.
A great goal there as we're back underway. Able to get the footy out. Ball rolling on the deck here at Mulgrave Reserve as the Devils try and move this forward. Can they counter-attack with a goal? Wheeled around. Ball comes off hands. And now wrapped up, so we'll have a ball up here just outside the forward 50 for the Eastern Devils here. 11 minutes and 35 to play in the second term. They go inside 50 and there's a whistle, and it will be the way of South Belgrave, so they look to move this out wide. Cormac goes short, mark taken by Flanagan. Looking towards the middle of the ground, great intercept there from Frawley. And now mark taken. Short, intercepted. So South Belgrave can go forward again. Looks up and a good mark there. Look to go inside 50. Can she get a mark? Comes off hands again. Able to clear it. And numbers here for South Belgrave. Sent forward by Moody. Rolling ball in the pocket, could be a chance. Strip to the footy. Able to get the chain of handballs working, and they're able to clear this away to centre wing. But it's going to be Moody once again here. She looks to send this inside 50 again. Can the Devils clear this here? Just in front of the scoreboard. Maybe a chance here. Good in defence again. The Devils plays on. Looks up, tries to get in the direction of Ang. Able to pick it up. Gets past. Kick rolling towards the forward 50 for the Devils. Back to Ang again. Able to get the handball off. Stratton and Belgrave able to clear it again towards the centre of the ground. Numbers there for the Devils if they can get it, and they do. Ran down, holding the ball. Big call from the umpire, Chris Cortis.
As the player rewarded with a free kick was Kelly, who looks forward and finds a target now. I believe that's Santa Maggio back on the footy again. Like we heard, new to footy this season, has been brilliant so far. As a kick looking for G2 players claiming the mark, but it will be paid to Hayley Thompson. That's a terrific grab. She just got over the top of her opponent there and took the mark.
Chris, it's actually number 31, Grimmer.
That is
For
right,
South
Georgia Grimmer. I'm
Belgrave.
looking at the wrong side of my sheet. Thank you, Kate. As Grimmer walks in, and that's an academic kick from there for someone as good as she is. Top of the goal scoring charts this season in Premier Division, and gets her 16th there. As South Belgrave are pulling back now, as it's Georgia Grimmer with her first of the day. Scoreboard reads Eastern Devils 2-7-19. South Belgrave 3-18. The margin cut back down to 1 after the Eastern Devils quick start. Thank you for joining us here on our Facebook and YouTube streams here at Mulgrave Reserve. After this, we have another massive game here at this venue as Mulgrave will look to knock off top spot Templestowe in our Division 2 senior men's competition, as it's one in the middle of the ground again by the Saints, looking to take the lead this time, and Taya Kelly's around there. Footy's picked up by the Devils defence. They're looking to work it out. A few handballs, maybe one too many as that one misses money, but she picks it up now. Looking for Morney, couldn't quite get it there. Shot over the line.
Boundary.
Just go boundary sides, Kate Green.
Traditionally at this ground, whenever we've been here with women's and men's football, the right-hand side scorer end is the predominant one.
So we'll have the Rucks go at it again. It's roosted out of there by Jordan Rule, but it fell into the waning hands of Nicole Colmack. The skipper for the Saints. It's a one-point game. Eastern Devils, we said they needed to get on the scoreboard for all their dominance, but they could fall behind here now. It's just a great kick to a leading up teammate, and the Saints have another chance to either tie or take the lead here.
That's number 14, Flanagan. Olivia, she's sitting on 10 goals for, 11 goals.
11, as she has one for the season, Kat. It's a good pickup. She's looking for a second here. It's Flanagan on a tight angle, kicking from about 40, 45 metres out. So the kick's on its way. Gee, it looks good. It might carry. Was it touched on the line? Yes, it was. As we're all tied up here at Mulgrave Reserve. So despite the early dominance from the Devils, we're all square at 19 apiece.
Oscar, what are your thoughts so far in this game?
South Belgrave looking really good here, I think, Kate.
Just around the grounds quickly. Baronia fighting back against the Pioneers, but it's still Whitehorse up 37-21. Park Orchards up 28-6 over the Basin, and South Croydon up 21-3 over Vermont South. That's in Premier Division. And Unfortunately, a lot of the other matches in other divisions elsewhere are failing to get their results through. We have Division 1, North Ringwood's up 9-0 over Surrey Park away from home. I'll have more scores shortly, hopefully. We will go to Oscar Ludski to keep us focused on this match for now.
Ball comes out of play. So we'll have a ball up from the umpire. 5 minutes and 40 left on the clock. Eastern Devils 2-7-19 to South Belgrave 3-1-19 as they lead. Although it's all tied up, I think, is it? The bottom of that scoreboard's just slightly cut off there.
Yeah, it is 19 apiece, which I mean 2-7 to 3-1. 9 scoring shots to 4 and it's level, so.
They've had enough inside 50s, but they just haven't been able to convert on the scoreboard in goals, the Devils, so far. As the ball comes to this near side.
Again.
Able to throw it onto the boot, inside forward 50. Could be a chance here. Open goal, strolls in.
Again, South Belgrave letting themselves down by not having someone down in their forward pocket. It's really making them work hard at this point.
Ball outside. Big bump here. Able to pick it up and get the handball away. Sent inside. Forward 50 here. And here's a chance. Dribbling along the ground. They take the lead now, South Belgrave.
Number 14, Flanagan for South Belgrave.
Eastern Devils 2-7-19 to South Belgrave 4-1-25. 4 minutes to play in the second term.
So we knew that South Belgrave weren't going to stay down for long. They're an undefeated side for a reason, and the Devils, despite all their early dominance, as you said so many times already on this broadcast, 2 goals, 7-19, and they now find themselves trailing by a kick to South Belgrave's 4-1-25.
But again, South Belgrave letting themselves down every time with not having someone staying back in that forward pocket. They need to do that because they're just getting cut out and having to work harder for the ball and for those majors.
So the Saints focusing their personnel on winning the ball at stoppage, and then whatever comes after they'll deal with when they get to it, as Mason's applying a tackle. Aang wrapped up in the tackle there. She's been good. She's trying to lift her side by herself here. As Ross was around the footy, and now it's still there to be one. Gemma Mason's in pursuit. We'll get it out to Celine Moody, showing equality now in this second term as it's roosted forward. 3v3 in the forward 50. The Devils are looking to bring it out. Kick would just find a bit of grass here at Mulgrave Reserve as the bouncer's not favoured a teammate at all in Riley Cridlin, as the Saints now looking to bring it out. A bit of mayo put on the push by Nicole Corman. Umpire sees through it. Now the Saints looking to get it back inside. Steps one way, steps right into trouble, right into the waning arms of Ellie McDonald. And that's a brilliant tackle. She'll be rewarded for the free kick. Madison Southam just ran out of room to run.
Passions are getting a bit high.
As McDonald sends it forward, looking for a bit of distance. Moody's under it, gets 2 hands to it. Was smothered in the contest by Baker. Now they're looking to bring it out again, the Saints. Murray not letting go anytime soon. And wraps the ball up for another stoppage. So the Devils need to get on the scoreboard. They hit the board early in this second term. They need to get back there, as the Saints are currently putting on an absolute masterclass in winning the ball at clearance. As it's now around the footies, Georgia Grimmer, 16 for the season so far. There's a dumping tackle, free kick. It will be going the way of the Devils. So the Eastern Devils stand up well there. So there's a yellow card for the dumping tackle, I believe, to Georgia Grimmer, who now will have to take herself off the ground, and that's a big out for the Saints. Like we said before, Georgia Grimmer 16 on the season, leading the goal-kicking charts in our Premier Division competition here, but the dumping tackle is an automatic yellow card if that's the call, so it's a bit hard done by, but she's off for 15, so we'll see her in the third term as there's...
I thought it was for 10.
Oh, for 10 minutes it might be. It might be. I know in the men's it's 15, but it may be different here, so we'll keep an eye on when she gets back out there. But with 90 seconds to play, we will be in the third term. We'll see her back, but Grimmer's off with the yellow. As play slowed down a bit. I don't think Eastern Devils will hate the fact that the clock kept running, as they're just trying to stem the bleeding now. They need to get into half-time, keeping this at one kick. but they might not be able to do so as now the Saints looking to connect with handballs. The kick on the right boot is Goldwood. Will it go through? A call is touched. So it's touched off the boot. South Belgrave extend their lead to 7. It's a 2-kick game now. Eastern Deveils will be cross with themselves in the rooms, I'm sure, at half-time, but they still have a bit of work to do to deny any further scoring opportunity for their opponents. So there's 45 seconds left on the clock. Handball would just find the deck. No real winner of the footy so far. McDonald's around it, so too is a fair few Saints players. One of them picking up the boys, Taya Kelly. Handballs it inside to Ruby Southern. We can send a kick forward and into the waiting hands of Celine Moody. She's done just about everything this quarter.
She's been outstanding this quarter. She was also very hands-on in that first quarter too.
She's been showing why she's an AFLW listed player for Carlton. And she'll look to prove it once more as this kick will more or less be on the siren.
That win's going to affect this kick.
As Moody, a goal here will push the lead out to 13. She'll be kicking from about 30 metres. Little to no angle. There's the siren for halftime, so Moody waltzing in to add insult to injury for the Devils. The kick looks good. There's a whistle. I'm not sure what the whistle's for. It looked good off the boot. I believe the goal will stand. Is that right, Kate?
Yes, it is, because
They've put it behind on the scoreboard.
And it was behind.
It wasn't behind, all right.
Yeah, as I mentioned, that wind just picked it and nudged it over to the behinds.
So it looked very good off the boot, but strayed late. So scoreboard reads, Eastern Devils 2-7-19, South Belgrave 4-3-27. The Saints putting on a 21-point quarter there to get themselves up by 8 points at the major break. Goal kickers, we have 2 to Olivia Flanagan for South Belgrave. Georgia Grimmer 1, but off with a yellow card late in that quarter, and Leah Santamaggio with 1 as well. For the Eastern Devils, it is singles to Melanie Murray and Ellie McDonald. As we go around the ground quickly before our main break here at Mulgrave Reserve, Park Orchard, South Croydon and Whitehorse still holding leads as we have scores scattered around elsewhere as we cross to Division 1. The only game we have scores for is Surrey Park versus North Ringwood. As North Ringwood there, 3-4-22, lead away from home. Surrey Park yet to score. As Division 2, it's Blackburn with a commanding lead as they travel to Berwick 41-6. No other scores there in that division. As we cross to Division 3, we have no other scores listed for our active games, but obviously the earlier starts, North Ringwood and Ferntree Gully picking up wins. Division 4, I don't believe we have results for at this stage. We do not. And then going into Division 5, the only game we have scores listed for is... we have scores listed for both now. So Heathmont 3-1-19 leading Templestowe at home, 1-6. And Norwood piling on the pain, 6-7-43 against Upper Ferntree Gully, yet to score. So that is our major break here in the Deakin University women's match of the round. We will be back shortly. Kate Green will have some interviews for us. We'll have another second half of footy, and we will return. Welcome back to your Deakin University Senior Women's Match of the Round here. It is a top-of-the-table clash in Premier Division. The scoreboard reads currently Eastern Devils 2-7-19, trailing by 8 points to South Belgrave 4-3-27. The Devils dominant early, looking to give the Saints their first loss of the season, but inaccuracy has cost them so far. We're in around the grounds before, but welcome and thank you for joining us on our Facebook and YouTube streams. The sun is more or less out today, which is very good for us, as it's keeping us a bit warm at the moment. Very different to the past few weeks where it's been raining a lot, but we've had a good game ahead of us so far. Oscar, do you see the second half panning out a bit differently, or are you sticking with your tip?
Sorry,
or
gentlemen,
what are you going
boundary.
We will go boundary side to Kate Green. Kate.
I'm here with Aaron Ross. Aaron, that was a very interesting quarter, very evenly matched in defence. What are your thoughts moving forward and message for the girls?
Yeah, definitely South Belgrave come back like I thought they would. Put on some high pressure and got some goals and got them right back into the game. So it's just message was just to reconnect, get our number to the contest, start winning that football.
Thanks very much, Aaron, and all the best for this quarter and the rest of the game.
Thank you for that, Kate. Oscar?
Yeah, I think Belgrave will hold on. They were behind and they've been able to claw their way back into this one, and now they lead on the scoreboard as the ball comes to deck here, and we'll have a ball up inside the centre square. 2-7-19, South Belgrave leading 4-3-27 on the scoreboard here. Big kick inside 50, rolling ball towards the goals, and will go over for a minor score. So 7-point game here. South Belgrave take this ball back into play.
Boundary
Side with Kate Green.
Just here with Shane Mason. Shane, that was a very positive second quarter for the girls. You've got to be happy with that. What do you feel the girls need to tweak and move forward with for this quarter?
I think, yeah, it was a great quarter. I think when we controlled the ball, we were able to sort of play our style of footy. So I think we just have to be aware of how they move their switching the play. So, but I think, yeah, if we just keep competing and play our style of game, yeah, hopefully it will turn our favour.
Thanks very much, Shane, and all the best. I know we're both distracted by looking because they're in your forward pocket.
Yeah, hopefully it stays in the forward pocket for the last of the quarter. Be great.
All the best.
Sent in by Southam, and the ball goes out of bounds, so we'll have a ball up inside South Belgrave's forward 50. Great stuff from Kate Green down there on the boundary with Easton, with Shane Mason as a goal there for South Belgrave. They increase their lead 5-3, 33-2, 8-20 here on the scoreboard. 2 minutes gone
Did we see
in the third term.
Did
Kate
we see
Green.
what number that was?
I didn't quite catch that.
Okay, I'll smile nicely at South Belgrave and find out who it is for us.
I'll have a look back at the stream if you want, Kate. Let me find this, because it was really a goal out of nothing as they just got the crumb at the front of the pack and sent it through. It was a great kick.
That's South Belgrave of finals. That's how they were effective in finals last year, making something out of nothing.
So surprise, surprise, it's Olivia Flanagan. That makes it a third of the day. Also puts her season tally to 13 points, I believe. As play restarts here in the centre, as South Belgrave now to a 13-point lead, starting to really take control of this game. And the Eastern Devils need to get something going and get something going quick if they want to stay in this, as the Rucks will go at it. And looking to sweep up the ball is Shanice Stratton, who does so, sends it forward in the direction of Murray, gets out the back, tap to herself, was looking for the Saints defender, taps it even more, will now take possession of the footy and spin. It's absolutely brilliant work from Keely Shepherd there, as now the ball will drop at the feet of Ruby Southam and looking to bring it out. Ball spills loose, Flanagan's around the footy once more, umpire will call for a ball up.
Boundary.
Boundary side to Kate Green.
South Belgrave have slowly but surely become more confident and more settled in their game plan. And speak of the Devil, as they're moving forward with this game.
So Gemma Mason just burst through the pack there. Copped a bit of a late hit for her troubles as Morney will now work the ball forward for the Devils. It gets out the back of the pack, looking to apply some pressure and doing so well as Cassandra Meads, and now bodies drop around the footy and we'll have a ball up. So we've mentioned many times throughout this broadcast so far, Eastern Devils have been dropping spares behind the ball, but it means that they're getting absolutely killed at stoppage at the moment, and that's how South Belgrave's getting the ball forward. As Georgie Pruden takes some territory with the kick, and it's surprising that as well, that Georgie Pruden, who's been so good this season, equal first in best on votes, has been somewhat quiet despite South Belgrave getting a foothold in this game again, as Bailey Withers sends it up the far side wing, looking to pick it up and burst through with the Devils. They'll do just that. Shallow entry inside forward 50 to 2v1, but the kick was absolutely inch perfect to Hayley Thompson. Thompson assesses her options now. Looks like she'll back herself to send it forward.
Thompson was quiet in that second quarter.
She was, but now looks like she backs herself to have the journey. So she'll be kicking from about 35 to 40 metres out, I believe.
It's a 40-metre mark.
Yeah, so 45-degree angle kick here as first pass is getting it over the very tall player on the mark who's been called back. She's overstepped the mark, so we'll get ready to go again as it's actually Foster on the player on the mark, who is not a short person by any means, is now ready to send the kick goalward is Thompson. Kick's got good distance, cleared it easily, but to the left of the goal, so a minor score there. It's 2 behinds to Eastern Devils so far in this quarter to South Belgrave's 1 goal flat. So back to 2 kicks, but it's South Belgrave by 12.
Kick back in the play. Too far. Went over the hands. It's now 6 minutes gone in the third term. Sending it back inside. Forward 50. Rolling towards the boundary. And we'll go out of play. So we'll have a ball up from the umpire. South Belgrave leading 5-3-33 to Eastern Devils 2-9-21. In fact, I think it might have been last touch rule, so South Belgrave send it towards the middle of the ground. It's intercepted here. Chance for the Devils to go forward as we go boundary side to Kate Green.
That was a beautiful mark by Hubbard for South Belgrave. Unfortunately, as you said, Oscar, intercepted by Eastern Devils.
Ball in the pocket here, trying to clear it, South Belgrave. And they do with a chain of handballs, but intercepted and rolls out of play here. So we'll have a ball up just in front of the scoreboard on that outer side here at Mulgrave Reserve. Trying to get the kick forward. Looks to be wrapped up again. So another stoppage inside forward 50 for the Eastern Devils. 7 minutes gone.
Boundary.
Boundary side to Kate Green.
If my calculations are correct, number 31 Grimmer for South Belgrave will be returning to the field around about the 10.5-minute mark of this game.
Of course, sent off with a yellow card earlier. And a free kick's been paid in the meantime to South Belgrave, who look to clear this out of their back half. Called to play on by the umpire. Kicks towards the centre of the ground. Ball off hands. Here's a chance for South Belgrave to move the ball forward. Ball rolls out to the wing. Devils had the numbers. Now it's a 2-on-2. And now wrapped up. And we'll have a ball up here on the broadcast side directly in front of us. Able to get the tap down. Big tackle laid. Holding the ball called on Brooks. And now it will be South Belgrave to send the ball forward through Pruden. Hubbard sends it towards the pocket. Chance maybe for South Belgrave now. Ball rolling towards the goals. Devils trying to clear it here, and they do. Able to escape one. Clears the kick over the top of Pruden. Sends it back inside 50. And now ball sent out of defence again. Able to keep it in.
That was impressive by number 24, Meehan for South Belgrave, with punching it and then coming back up with it. That was very impressive ball skills.
So called back here. Runs around, sends it inside, forward 50 trying to get a mark. Big contest here. Southern was there. And in the end, ball wrapped up, so we'll have another stoppage just outside the forward 50 for South Belgrave. Tap to advantage here, possibly a chance in the pocket, escapes, gets the kick onto the boot to the top of the goal square. Devils looking to clear this. And rolling ball picks it up and is wrapped up, so we'll have another ball up inside the defensive 50 for the Devils as they look to clear this.
So it's South Belgrave still by 12, the 2-kick lead at the moment. The Eastern Devils need to make a move soon, and it starts with getting the footy well away from their uprights. So we'll have a ball up here.
Boundary.
It's a good boundary start to Kate Green.
Grimmer is about to re-enter the game.
So Georgia Grimmer ready to come back on after that yellow card for the dumping tackle, as footy's on the far side wing. Will just be taken over the line by number 35 in Madison Brooks. So umpire will call for a ball up. Just trying to clear it, just step by step at the moment. The Eastern Devils are making very slow progress though. As in the ruck was Baker, and it's going to come back inside 50. Around the footy was Morney. Turning on a dime was Flanagan, as the kick will bounce its way through. Olivia Flanagan gets her second of the third term, taking her tally for the day to 4 and taking her tally to the season to 14.
Awesome goal there.
Saints now up by 18 points. 2-9-21 plays 6-3-39.
Boundary.
So, boundary side to Kate Green. What have you got for us, Kate?
I think we need to start seriously looking at who we're going to be, who our top 3 or top 2 are for the Eastland Hoyt's best on ground voucher.
That's exactly right. So
Flanagan's up there for me, as is Santa Magerio, and as is Murray and McDonald.
So Gemma Mason was slung in a tackle by Ang, so she'll get the free kick. As the Eastern Devils need to get back into this footy game, really, because it's starting to get away from them here, as the Saints have just been dominant. That's an uncontested mark taken there by Celine Moody, who herself has put her name forward for best on vote. It's a brilliant intercept mark taken, the play on, and absolutely run down in a tackle by Georgie Pruden. The intercept mark was brilliant there from, I believe, Morgan Cox, but Pruden was right next to her and she didn't even know. Now Pruden looks short for a target. Guess who? Kick on its way and kick through. Olivia Flanagan once again. That's a bag for her, the number 14. 5 on the day, 3 in this third quarter.
She's been outstanding, Chris and Oscar, really, not just in goals, but in her tackling and being right in the mix right throughout the game.
Off limited touches as well. She's just making the most of her opportunities, and it moves her one behind teammate Georgia Grimmer in the goal standings, who was leading ahead of today. So puts her to 15 for the season, 5 on the day. And South Belgrave are just chugging along. They're cruising along at this stage. Eastern Devils resistance has dropped right off.
And
since quarter time.
that player you just mentioned before, number 31 Grimmer, is now down in the forward pocket on the field.
So Grimmer's back out here. As if it can't get any worse for the Eastern Devils, they bring on the league-leading goal scorer. As we'll have a ball up in the centre square, not far from where we all started today, as the Rucks will go at it. Moody wins a tap. Ang wrapped up in a tackle, gets the footy out. Ball drops now. A lot of you take it. No, I'll take it. Now Mason gets it to Pruden, who sends it forward. Standing under it was Munyard. Now looking to bring it out of the Devils. Kick down the wing. The runner has to sprint to get out of the way. As now the 2v1. Lot of work to do for the Devils. Tapped it forward brilliantly. Around it is Ellie McDonald. She's wrapped up in the tackle. And it will be a ball up. You have players the quality of Ellie McDonald, and they need to try and get her on the ball a bit more, the Devils. Because she's going to be the impact. She's going to be the difference maker here as Moody's in the ruck by herself. No one nominated. She took it out the ruck, got wrapped up in a tackle, and was just way too casual with it. Got wrapped up and is pinged for holding the ball. So it'll be Ashley Powder to bring the footy up. Steps left. We'll now look for a handball right. It's tapped forward by Southern. That's Ruby Southern. Ball is back into the hands of the Eastern Devils, and innocent mark taken by Georgie Pruden. So it's South Belgrave by 24 with just over 5 to play.
Using it through the middle of the ground, picked off. Chance now for the Devils to send it inside, forward 50. Mark taken here.
Again, you don't leave Devils free, and that's just what's happened. It's gone from number 10, Owen, and she's gotten it down to number 11 in Chloe Stratton. You just don't
Chloe
leave them.
Stratton goes short, finds a short option. Sorry about that, Kate. Back to you.
And now, Stratton's now got it to number 40, McDonald. You just can't leave any kind of little gap for the Devils, because they will take advantage of it and make you pay for it on the scoreboard.
Ali McDonald, kick looks good. It is good. Devils able to get one back. 3-9-27 to South Belgrave. 7-3, 45. 4 minutes and 20 to play here in the third term.
We'll go around the grounds quickly. Elsewhere in Premier Division, Park Orchards now up big against the base, and that's 56-7. South Croydon have pulled away from Vermont 28-3. And a very interesting game out at Springfield Park as the White Horse Pioneers 8-5-53. Their lead has been shortened by Baronia 6-7-43. So a very interesting one there. As we'll cross over to Division 1, North Ringwood 3-6-24, playing away from home, leading Surrey Park 1-6. No other scores listed for our Division 1 games. As in Division 2, Berwick are fighting back 4-1-25, hosting Blackburn 7-7-49. No other scores listed across Division 2. In Division 3, as we go there, it is no other scores listed for the active games. Obviously, North Ringwood and Ferntree Gully picking up wins for the early starts. In Division 4, we'll go back to in a second as Pruden sends the ball forward into the forward 50. Centre Madger the target, gets it, puts it on the right boot. It's going to drop handball off to Georgie Pruden. She's going to get chased down. No, she's not. Kick is on its way, and kick is good. The pressure wasn't enough to keep a player like Georgie Pruden down, and she gets onto the scoreboard for her side here in this third term. As South Belgrave get their 4th of the term and are now opening up a very, very commanding
Boundary.
I believe 24-point lead once again as we go boundary side to Kate Green.
As you said, Chris, that's 4 goals for South Belgrave this quarter to Eastern Devils with just that one this quarter. The Devils, I don't know what they've got in their bag of tricks, but they're going to have to do something to get back in this game, because South Belgrave are just running over the top of them.
Well, to put it into perspective, in the first quarter, the Eastern Devils had 8 scoring shots and put 13 points on the board. So far this term, South Belgrave have had 4 scoring shots and have put 24 points on the board. So accuracy is the key here.
And that comes down to South Belgrave's pressure and their back 6 that first quarter, Chris.
That's exactly right. As the Saints' key players are starting to stand up, here is another in Olivia Flanagan. He looks forward, juggling the mark and eventually taking it. I believe that's Santa Marjo.
I think that might be Grimmer.
It's Grimmer. So Georgie Grimmer, I should say, 1 for the day.
But don't quote me on that.
It will be easy to see after the kick, but for now the kick will be coming in from about 30 metres on a slight angle to open up a 5-goal lead for the Saints. It's pulled left. It was Georgia Grimmer there, Kate, you're right. Should be wanting to take these opportunities because their teammate in Olivia Chapman is getting uncomfortably close to her goal record or her goal standings right now in terms of the Premier Division Golden Boot race as the kick is sent out of 50. It's a dumping kick. Ain't able to do the crumbing at the back of the pack. Hiddish kick, so the kick will drop short. Handball backwards to Gemma Mason, who's been terrific so far today. Was thrown on the right boot by Meehan. Now they're looking to bring it out. Eastern Devils looking to repel. It's picked up by number 76 in Sugamar. And wrapped up in a tackle is Olivia Flanagan just on the edge of the forward 50 as there is just under a minute to play.
Oscar, have you noticed that the Eastern Devils have become quite flustered and getting more errors than what they have earlier in the game?
They have. They look like they're panicking now ever since this third term. It's been all South Belgrave as this kick comes into the centre of the ground from Powell. Now wrapped up in a big tackle from Dara. And we'll have a ball up outside the forward 50 for South Belgrave. Ang chasing this one. She's tackled. Rolling ball kept in. And eventually it will just roll over the line here as the siren goes for three-quarter time. It's the Eastern Devils 3-9-27 trailing South Belgrave 8-4-52 at Mulgrave Reserve.
So it is the Saints up by 25 now. The game is starting to get away from the Eastern Devils, but we have goal kickers so far for this encounter. For the leaders, South Belgrave looking to go undefeated and keep that record alive. Georgie Pruden has one. It is a bag of 5 to Olivia Flanagan, Georgia Grimmer and Leah Santamaggio as well with singles. On the other hand, for the Eastern Devils, it is singles for Melanie Murray and Ellie McDonald with 2 herself. So we'll take a short break as we will see after the break, after three-quarter time, Kate Green will grab the coaches for another few questions and we will see if South Belgrave, we'll see if South Belgrave can make it 8 undefeated and keep their unblemished record as we return in our Deakin University women's match of the round. Welcome back to our Deakin University Women's Match of the Round. The scoreboard reads Eastern Devils 3-9-27, falling to South Belgrave 8-4-52 at this stage. It is a 25-point margin. Kate Green is searching on the boundary for a coach. We'll hear from her shortly. In the meantime, to continue on from our scores around the ground in Division 5, Heathmont 43 plays Templestowe 6, Norwood 62 over Upper Ferntree Gully, yet to score. I don't think Kate's grabbed a coach just yet, so I'll go Premier Division quickly. We have this game here, of course. Park Orchards up 50 against the Basin. South Croydon up 19 against Vermont. And the White Horse Pioneers up 10 against Baronia. As I think we've timed this just about right.
Boundary.
All yours, Kate, go.
Hi, Aaron. Tough quarter. They've gotten away a bit on you. The girls have worked really hard in defence. What's the message for this final quarter?
Yeah, working hard in defence is great, but we have to work hard in attack as well. Again, the same message. Work hard to get to the contest, get the outnumber, win it, and then drive like we're doing now. So it's a good start.
Thanks very much, Aaron, and all the best for the rest of this game and going into next week.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
So we heard there from head coach of the Eastern Devils, Aaron Ross. He's hoping his side can turn this game around. Thank you for joining us on our Facebook and YouTube streams. We have, if you got nothing to do on this Saturday, the conditions aren't that bad down here at Mulgrave Reserve, come down because we have an absolutely blockbuster senior men's game at this venue. Once this game, the reserves game finishes, that's Mulgrave taking on Division 2 league leaders Templestowe. But if you want to stay in the warmth of your own home, I don't blame you. But feel free to tune in to us on Facebook, YouTube, and Radio Eastern FM. As I'm stumbling over my words, Radio Eastern 98.1 FM is what I'm looking for. As we will go 1:15, and our pre-game coverage I'll continue shortly as we go to Kate Green on the boundary.
Shane, positive quarter that one. The girls were really on fire, particularly Flanagan. What was the message for them for this quarter and moving forward?
I think just keep what we're doing, what we did that last quarter, just do it again. I think, our surge footies really well, and we know when to slow it down and sort of maintain possession. So hopefully that continues in this quarter.
Thanks very much, Shane. All the best for the rest of this game and moving forward to next week and beyond.
Thank you very much, Tom.
That's South Belgrave's head coach there, Shane Mason, hoping that it's much of the same as I was saying before. We will have from 1:15 on our Facebook, YouTube streams and on Radio Eastern 98.1 FM, our pre-game coverage of our Eastland match of the round down at Princess Highway Reserve, celebrating Oakland District's 75-year anniversary. They'll have Dane Swan playing for them, donning the retro throwback Guernsey as they take on mid-table Sylvan in our men's Division 3 competition. But back here and back focused, it is still South Belgrave by 25, looking to make it 8 straight, 8-0 on the season as Chapman's been taken high. We'll have a free kick just on the forward 50 arc. She'll assess her options, just send it forward. It's a deep entry, plays Foreman around the footy. Bit of a pack there, is wrapped up in a tackle and the ball spill out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. So Oscar, before you take over the commentary here, do we see a way in which the Eastern Devils get back into this one?
I don't think so. It's all South Belgrave at the moment as they look to use this outside their defensive 50 Eastern Devils. 4 minutes gone in the fourth quarter. 52-27, South Belgrave lead. This ball wrapped up in the contest again.
Boundary.
Boundary side with Kate Green.
It's a tale of the first and fourth quarter. The first quarter, South Belgrave didn't have anyone back in their forward 50. This quarter, it's quite congested in their forward 50.
Looking to send it forward again. Rolling ball as Eastern Devils trying to clear this one, but it's sent back in. And mark taken there.
Number 18.
So Taya Kelly has moved over from the Basin and now playing with South Belgrave. Strolls in, looks good, but falls away to the left for a minor score here. So South Belgrave 8-5-53 to Eastern Devils 3-9-27 here with 15 minutes to play in the fourth quarter as this kick comes towards the wing. The Devils looking to head forward to centre wing now, ball off hands. Rolling ball wrapped up in a tackle, so a stoppage here on centre wing on that far side. Able to get the tap down was prudent. Wrapped up again, we'll have another ball up. Grabbing it out of the ruck. It's Belgrave. Send this high into the air here. Not able to grab a mark. Prudent chasing it. Rolls out of play. So we'll have a last touch rule, I believe. So it'll be the Devils to send it back in. On the wing here. Ball smothered and now sent forward again by Belgrave. And able to get the handball away there. A big, big smother there from Pruden once again. Who's been really good for South Belgrave. As the ball comes back up after that stoppage. Big chance, sent forward, rolling ball into the pocket, goes out of bounds, and last touch rule. So it'll be the Devils to send it back in here as we go boundary side to Kate Green.
As Steve Mason, the coach for South Belgrave, said, they just want to keep it in there, forward 50, and so far this quarter, that's where they've kept it.
Locked in again. We'll have another ball up from the umpire. 13 minutes and 15 left in this fourth term. Locked inside South Belgrave's forward 50 here. We'll have another stoppage. South Belgrave leading 53-27. The Devils need to get something working here in this last term. Able to get the ball off, stripped of it. Ball comes back to the deck and wrapped up for another stoppage.
So it's locked here in the favour of South Belgrave territory-wise. As Zane looking to bring it out. Mason applied the pressure. Ball dropped now off the tackle from McDonald and spilled out. Ducking her head under the footing. Doing the brave thing with the Eastern Devils now, but wrapped up in the tackle is number 31 in Hayley Thompson.
Chris,
Now call for a ball up. Yes, Kate?
have you noticed that just with South Belgrave, they've been incredibly effective in locking down Eastern Devils, you know, known danger players like Ang and a few others like Baker?
They have, and they're denying the Devils the chance to get some run and gun going and get some handball chains going. The ball hasn't moved freely since the first quarter, as this ball is just pumped inside forward 50. And that is an absolutely stunning mark taken. Flying across to the pack was Georgia Grimmer. Came across the front of the pack.
She's come alive since that nice little break she had.
That's exactly right, as Grimmer will now walk into this shot from about 40 out, dead in front. Kick will have the distance, but it has strayed to the right. So minor score there, as we are just past 11 and a half minutes to go in this fourth quarter. The Devils came out of the gates firing, but firing in all the wrong places, and have run out of steam since then, as South Belgrave showing the reasons exactly why they were undefeated on the season. And in what has been dubbed a bit of a grand final preview for Premier Division, it seems like South Belgrave are going to take the chocolates in this one. Still plenty of time to play as scoreboard reads Eastern Devils 39-27. South Belgrave's 8-6-54. I'll have a ball up here just outside the Saints forward 50s. It'll be Moody in the ruck once more, who's come to life the more this game has played out. And it's a free kick now for the Devils as they'll look to use the corridor, looking for the lead of Murray, who got hands to the footy, couldn't quite take it cleanly, but the arms were chopped, says the umpire, and it'll be a free kick. So Murray a bit sore after that one, maybe feeling the left knee maybe came down a bit harsh. I don't think she wants to take the kick here. She says she wants to go off, so. I hope that Melanie Murray will be okay. She had a goal for today, but the ball has now been given into Morgan Cox. She'll look to the near side wing, gets it into the hands of Taylor O'Hagan.
Boundary.
Takes the mark to go bound shots. Kate Green.
Just quickly, Murray has been one of the best on this game for the Eastern, so that's a bit of a blow.
It is indeed, as the ball now with Jacinta Frawley. Hands it off to Shanice Stratton, who's been good in this game for the Devils. Been trying to get a team going, and so too is this player in Olivia Aang. Bit of a squib kick off the ground. It will get out the back of the pack. Handball straight to an opponent. It's now with the Devils. Turned over. Now with the Saints. Looking to just take territory with a kick up the corridor. Puts it in front of a teammate and says, get there, would you? The Sugarmar's there for the Devils. Looking to bring it out. Gets it wide. Far side wing. Looking to get it back to Madison Brooks as the ball's bouncing. Bouncing. Will it go out? No, it looks to have stayed in. Brooks picks up the footy. Has to handball backward. Misses her target in Sugamar. Now around the footy is Flanagan. And that will be last touch rule, I believe. As no, it will be the umpire balling it up. It's just under 9 to play here as we will go around the grounds quickly. It's Park Orchard still with a 50-point lead over the Basin. South Croydon up 20 over Vermont. South Croydon make that up 14 now over Vermont as there's a goal kick there as you speak. I was starting to think that Whitehorse vs Baronia had stopped updating the scores, but there was a bit of a swing there. I think Baronia got back ahead for a while, but it is now the Pioneers by 5. 9-7-61 plays 8-8-56. Whitehorse looking to cause an upset there to get their season back on track. As across the other divisions in our women's competition, we have Surrey Park 2-12. Trainington North Ringwood 4-6-30. No score listed for Donvale versus Knox as it stands, and East Ringwood versus Ball in the twilight game. So that will start at 4:45, I believe,
Boundary.
down at East Ringwood Reserve. Kate Green.
Eastern just awarded a 25 penalty for incorrect giving the ball back with a free kick.
So they'll look to go back up the line here and find a teammate in. I believe it's Madison Brooks. As McDonald's under the ball now, got Hiddish went for the marking contest. Hoofing it out of the defensive lines is Moody. We drop now 2v1 in favour of the Devils. They got some work to do. Put body on her own teammate. A bit of friendly fire there from Gemma Owen. As a footy stuck to the ground, the umpire call for a ball up. Elsewhere, Berwick is making a good account of themselves at least against Blackburn in Division 2. That's 5-2-32 to the Burners 9-8-62. The Burners are going to go undefeated and keep that streak going. Kilsyth versus Montrose, Waverley Blues versus Mooroolbark. Still no score listed. Of course, Waverley Blues, Mooroolbark, they faced off in round 1, was a draw with a kick after the siren. Beaconsfield with the bye in that one. Big bump laid there by I believe it was Shanice Stratton, who's been very good for her side so far as McDonald's in pursuit, and will have another ball up. Gives me the chance to go to Division 3 now as North Ringwood and Furtry Gully picked up wins in the early starts. No scores listed for the rest of that division. Going down to Division 2, Division 4, no scores listed for any of the games there as Baronia's development side has the bye. And in Division 5, a couple blowouts. Heathmont up 50 against Templestowe and Norwood, 89-0 over Upper Ferntree Gully.
Here's a chance on goal. Chucks it on the boot. South Belgrave have another.
Do you want to guess who kicked that one?
So that'd be Flanagan again, is it?
Yep.
I think it's a Flanagan.
That is 6-4 today.
Can we just call this game the Flanagan game?
Definitely a big game. It puts her now, as I'm looking at my sheet, I'm not sure who second in this division is goal-wise, but it puts her equal with Georgia Grimmer, who started today on top and was clear by 5.
Now that was Flanagan's 6th just for this game.
So Taylor Black was second on 11. Bear with me. Let me find out what's going on in the South Croydon game, and I'll get back to you.
Still got 5 minutes left on the clock. She could kick another.
That's very true.
Beware the caller's curse there, Oscar.
Ball rolling. Kicking it forward was Owen. Finding Monet. Looks towards the centre of the ground. Finds a mark. And Ross. And now using that outer wing to move the ball forward. Could be a chance for them to pull one back, the Devils. As Belgrave look to clear this again. Intercepted and picked off, plays on. Walters inside and finds a target directly in front. So a chance now for the Eastern Devils will be Hayley Thompson. Directly in front, doesn't miss. So they pull one back, but probably too late now with 4 minutes left on the clock. 4:09:33. Eastern Devils trailing South Belgrave 9-6-60 here at Mulgrave Reserve.
Oscar,
Kate Green.
South Belgrave have been incredible in shutting down, you know, the key players like Ang, Murray, Munyard, Thompson and McDonald.
They've been so good. Belgrave, and their midfield has been working really hard, as coach Shane Mason alerted to when we spoke to him prior to the start of this game.
Just quickly, guys, an update on our goal-kicking standings in Premier Division. Taylor Black was second with 11 going into this match. She's just kicked her second of the day, moving her to 13. So that means currently tied for first are Georgia Grimmer and Olivia Chapman for first in the goal-kicking standings. So we could see a new leader by the end of today.
Ball inside 50 here. Belgrave clearing it. Big kick into the centre of the ground. Able to chuck it onto the boot here. Rolling ball coming towards us on the broadcast side. Chasing it was Flanagan, and it goes out of play here. So we will have a ball up on the centre wing. 2 minutes and 42 left to play. Throws it on the boot, Prudent. Rolling ball. Chasing it is Cox. Rolling ball goes out of bounds, so I think it will be possibly last touch rule there. So we brought back in by Owen for the Devils. 2 minutes and 10 to play. Ball comes out of bounds again, so we'll have a ball up.
Whitehorse Pioneers now up 10 on Baroni, a late game.
I think we all went Baronia for this game.
I believe we did. They've got 5 minutes to hold them off. Baroni have just kicked a goal, as I've said it, so it's now down to 4.
So big tackle late, couldn't quite get the hands off. Ball comes to ground. Kick comes over to Thompson, who sends this up the wing. Big mark taken by Baker. Looks to send this inside 50 and wrapped up. So stoppage inside the forward 50 for the Eastern Devils. Possibly a chance for them to score, but will be not too effective on the scoreboard at this late stage.
South Belgrave have been very quick to keep Ang wrapped up.
And wrapped up again So ball up called once again by the umpire.
So this game will move South Belgrave to 8-0 in the season, gets them to 32 points. More interestingly, though, I believe it will drop Eastern Devils to 3rd because Park Orchards will pick up a win, moving them to 2nd. And if Baronia can get over the line, they be on equal points against Eastern Devils too. So he says, makes that game, Baronia versus Whitehorse, even bigger in the context of this season because the Hawks find themselves down 5 with just under 5 minutes left to play.
It'll be interesting to see the percentages as well.
Mulgrave will clear this. 13 seconds left on the clock. They'll use this on the wing.
Gentlemen, are we all in agreement that Flanagan for best on ground?
Yep.
It has to be. The siren will go here. And that is full time from Mulgrave Reserve. Eastern Devils 4:09:33 to South Belgrave 9:6:60.
Congratulations, Oscar, on your very first call of women's footy.
Yes, well done. A very good job as well. Sounded
thanks,
right at
guys.
home. But we won't let you go just yet, Oscar. You have your 3-2-1 votes for this game.
Jeez, it's
I'll give you a bit of time to think. I'll go through the goal kickers and then we'll come back to you. So
Yep,
obviously
sounds good.
Olivia Flanagan with a whopping 6 goals on the day today, 3 in the 3rd quarter. Otherwise for South Belgrave it was singles to Georgie Pruden, Georgia Grimmer and Leah Santamaggio. Now for Eastern Devils it was 2 to Ellie McDonald, singles to Hayley Thompson and Melanie Murray. So your 3-2-1, Oscar. Let us
the
have it.
3-2-1. So I'll start off with the 1 to Gemma Owen. Brilliant in defence today, I thought, for the Eastern Devils, despite the loss. She was so good down there in the back line for them. 4-2, I've gone with Georgie Pruden. Awesome today through the midfield. And for the 3, hard to look past Olivia Flanagan, who ended up with 6 goals, was it there? So pretty incredible stuff from her.
That's exactly right. And for my votes, I've gone 1 vote for Gemma Mason. Thought she was brilliant in the midfield and was one of the more consistent performers on the day through all 4 quarters. I've gone 2 to Celine Moody. She's on the AFLW Carlton list for a reason, which is pretty obvious, and I think she showed it there. She was massive throughout the game. And then, of course, no debates, 3 goals to 3 points to Olivia Flanagan, I should say, for her 6-goal effort, which Kate Green will be grabbing her in a second. But that does move South Belgrave, who came into this game 7-0, were 4th last season. They've now surpassed their season tally for last year. Boundary side to Kate Green. Go on, Kate.
We have a very, very shy Olivia Flanagan who doesn't want to go on mic, so I'll get a picture. I'll just grab a quick word from Shane Mason on Flanagan and how she played today with six goals. That's impressive.
Oh, her work ethic was just fantastic. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, hello. You got me.
You got your Shane going.
Yeah, fantastic effort today. Just a 2-way running and just the focus, getting the ball out in front and, obviously kicking straight, which is great.
Shane, I want to know what the quarter-time speech was, because you gave up 8 scoring shots there to the Eastern Devils and they left the door open. What was the message at quarter-time?
Yeah, they did jump us, and I just thought that we lacked a little bit of composure early on, and once we got it back and just reminded them on how we normally play, and they were able to do that, deliver, maintain possession, and then pressure. Pressure footy makes it very important to win the games like that.
Shane, you really ran away with that in the 3rd term, I thought. What do you put that down to?
Oh, yeah, it's just competing. Everybody just plays their role. That's our mantra, is just, win the moments and also work hard when you don't have the footy. And I think that was evident after quarter time.
And Shane, just last one before we let you go. Of course, congratulations on the win. But if we take a broader view of this, you've already topped your season tally for points from 2024. What's different about this team this season?
Yeah, I think like the girls, the way they've battled over the last couple of years, just with numbers. So having a bench has been fantastic, where our midfielders can actually have a break. And I think just the way that they run really hard, and the competition, you have to have the bench to help you out to finish games off.
Thank you very much, Shane. Congratulations on the win and the undefeated start, and we'll let you get to celebrating.
Good on you. Thanks very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much there to Shane Mason, head coach of the South Belgrave senior women's team, who find themselves on top spot of our Premier Division women's competition now. 8-0 start from the Saints as they go over the top of the Eastern Deveils. Thank you for joining us here today. Whether you've been on Facebook or YouTube, have a quick break and then please join us again. We'll be just down the road at Princess Highway Reserve to celebrate Oakland District's 75-year anniversary match, where Dane Swan will be donning the Guernsey for them against the Sylvan Cats. That pre-game coverage will start at 1:15 on Facebook, YouTube and Radio Eastern 98.1 FM with the opening bounce at 2:20. For now, Oscar, thank you very much for joining me. First call for a women's game. You did excellently, mate.
Yeah, cheers, Chris.
And I think Kate's making her way up here at some stage. But thank you to her. She's done an amazing job as always. And of course, to LKL and Media, who do the lion's share of the work in setting up and delivering these games to you. So that's all for us for now from our Deakin University, I should say, senior women's match of the round. It was the Eastern Devils 49-33 falling short to the South Belgrave Saints 9.